The archives is located at 1020 O Street. That's the corner of 10th and O in downtown Sacramento. The research room, we're located here on the 4th floor. So if you do visit us, when you enter the building, just tell the security guard you're going to archives. Once on the 4th floor, you'll need to fill out a registration form and bring that into the research room. The reference archivist will give you a research badge and answer any questions you might have. Now, if you'd like some records pulled in advance of your visit, researchers can email us a prioritized list of the records they wish to view, including identification numbers and series title information, at least 3 business days prior to your anticipated arrival. Researchers can also request records during their visit. All of our records are held on-site, so in-person pulls are typically fulfilled within 15 to 45 minutes, depending on how busy the research room is. We are also usually able to help researchers who are unable to visit us in person if they send us an inquiry via telephone, fax, US mail, or email. Our email address is archivesweb@sos.ca.gov. That's archivesweb@sos.ca.gov. In those instances, we can sometimes pull together records we think might be helpful for the researcher and invite him or her to purchase photocopies sight unseen. This research typically takes between 1 to 2 weeks as we operate on a first-come, first-served basis. Unfortunately, we don't look for specific documents or specific pieces of information because of staff time constraints and because we don't want to miss any information that would be of value to you. Therefore, we can only supply a page count and total cost for photocopies of entire folders or sets of records. Some of the record groups here at the California State Archives have been commonly used over the years by genealogists, including researchers interested in African American family history. We tend to have records regarding individuals if they were located in the state of California and if they had some connection to state government. And we're going to talk about some of the different types of records that are very helpful in those instances. Please note, however, that for the most part, the California State Archives does not have birth, marriage, or death records. Those records are typically held at the county level, not here at the State Archives. We do here at the State Archives have some census materials. For the most part, we don't have federal census records. We do have some Spanish mission census materials from about 1796 to 1798. This includes manuscript census material that were taken in 1798 at the presidios of San Diego, Santa Barbara, Monterey, San Francisco, and we have some mission censuses from San Carlos, that's 1796, San Luis Obispo from 1797, Mission San Antonio from 1798, and Soledad from the same year. We also have records of a census that was conducted here in the state in 1852, and at that year, the state government decided to conduct their own census, independent of the federal census. Here is an image of the 1852 census schedule from Placer County. And the 1852 census was the first and only state census conducted in California. There's 2 microfilmed versions of the 1852 census, and we have a typescript version prepared by the Daughters of the American Revolution and a copy of the original manuscript. The DAR typescript version includes a name index. The microfilm copy of the manuscript version, which was created by the Genealogical Society of Utah, is of so-so quality and sometimes can be a little difficult to read due to the color of the ink and the paper of the original. And 2 schedules were compiled during the 1852 state census. There was a Schedule 1, which was for inhabitants, and there was a Schedule 2, which was for production and capital. The information captured on the population schedule includes name, age, sex, color, occupation, place of birth, last residence, and number of U.S. citizens over the age of 21, and foreign residents. The information captured on Schedule 2, production and capital, includes number of horses, mules, cows, beef cattle, work oxen, bushels of barley, corn, wheat, potatoes, quantity of other produce, numbers of acre of land in cultivation, number of quartz mills, capital employed in quartz mining and in placer mining, and capital employed for other purposes. Each county schedule is followed by a summary of the statistics of each category. But note, please, there's no census enumerations for the 1852 census for Colusa, Marin, or Sutter counties. The State Archives also has original manuscript enumerations of the 1860 census that were filed with the Secretary of State by the census marshals. Duplicate sets were also sent to the county clerks and to the United States Secretary of the Interior. Schedule 1, which is called Free Inhabitants, includes name, age, sex, color, occupation, value of real estate and personal estate, place of birth, and whether they were married within the year, whether attended school within the year. There's also a schedule for persons who died during the year, and another schedule for products of agriculture. A further schedule includes products of industry, and there's a social statistics schedule that includes listings of colleges and academies, newspapers, numbers of criminals convicted within the year, and data on wages. Now, another thing we want to talk about here is the concept of county records. For the most part, the California State Archives only has records created by the government of the state of California. For the most part, we do not have records created by California's counties, but there are some exceptions to that. In some instances, we have county records, the original county records, stored here at the State Archives. In other instances, we have microfilm copies of county records from around the state here, but we don't have the original records. Basically, as I understand it, back in the 1980s, the Genealogical Society of Utah came to the State Archives, microfilmed many of our records, and sort of as a thank you, they gave us use copies of rolls of microfilm that they had created by filming many county records from around the state. We do have those microfilms here at the State Archives, and researchers are welcome to look at them and make copies. But it is sometimes a little problematic because sometimes researchers want copies of our records. They want certified copies for legal purposes. Maybe they want to try to get a foreign passport or something like that. Whenever we have the original record, we can make a certified copy. But if we don't have the original record in our facility, we cannot make a certified copy. We can only make an uncertified copy. But for those records that we do have from the counties, we primarily have probate records, including indexes and case files, a lot of county court records from the county courts, district courts, judicial courts, and the superior courts, including case files, judgments, registers, fee books, bonds, letters, wills, some naturalization records, but not many, deeds, as well as homesteads. There are some birth, marriage, and death records from the counties that we have here, either original or in microfilm copy. And sometimes we will have name indexes for those materials. There's also the great registers, which are voter registration materials, declaration of intention, which is related to naturalization, and a lot of miscellaneous records relating to county assessors, clerk recorders, county treasurers, and auditors, things like that. Now, here at the State Archives, we also have on file articles of incorporation. These are pretty interesting. The State Archives is the repository for articles of incorporation from about the years 1850 until about the year 1956. Articles of incorporation relate only to those companies that were stock issuing companies and who filed articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State. The State Archives also holds incorporation documents for nonprofit organizations. These articles are filed alphabetically by name, and they typically include information relating to the name of the company, sometimes the purpose of the company, the place of business, the names of officers and amount of capital stock invested, information about names of directors, stockholders, things like that, numbers of shares issued. Articles of incorporation may include amendments to the original articles, things such as that. And here, I wanted to take this opportunity to show some examples of articles of incorporation that we have here at the archives. This first one, these are the articles of incorporation of a mining company from the Gold Rush era called the Sweet Vengeance Gold and Silver Mining Company. And here, these are the articles of incorporation for another mining company from the Gold Rush era, the Rare Ripe Gold and Silver Mining Company. These are particularly interesting because these are two examples of mining companies that were owned during the gold rush by African Americans here in California. According to Juliet Walker's 2009 book, The History of Black Business in America, quote, while free blacks joined the California gold rush, some of the early miners had been slaves who purchased their freedom with the gold they mined. In addition to mining as individuals, blacks in California pooled their resources and organized mining companies. In Browns Valley, a group of blacks discovered gold and organized the Sweet Vengeance Mine Company. Another group of black 49ers also struck it rich in Browns Valley and organized the Rare Ripe Gold and Silver Mining Company, incorporating it in 1868, unquote. Now, according to Roberta Darcy's 2012 book, Browns Valley, quote, African Americans arrived to work in the mines in Browns Valley from the south and the east. Jobs held around the mines were usually menial, but gradually as black men learned the intricacies of the mining profession, many became successful. Edward Duplex arrived from Connecticut in 1855. He and other black miners operated the Sweet Vengeance mine, took out a profit, and even successfully defended themselves against white miners who tried to take it over by force. In 1858, he had opened a large barber shop in Marysville, and in 1868 was listed as secretary-treasurer and was on the board of directors of the Rare Ripe Gold and Silver Mining Company in Browns Valley. In 1875, he moved to Wheatland and became the first black mayor west of the Mississippi River.